Yo, welcome back to my channel. This is the last Snow. You'll call me Snow for short. And we are back here on another deck opening for Gundam card game. This one is the starter deck number 2 out of the 4 starter decks that actually came out. And this one is actually called Wings of Advance. So we're definitely going to pop this box open, see what we get inside, what this starter deck has in hold for us for this weekend, for the starter deck tournament weekend. And see what the bonus packs looks like as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy the stream. Like, share, subscribe, and let's get to it. Gonna open this box. So with everything that comes into the box is just basically standard. You have the starter deck that comes into the box. You have the bonus packs that comes in the box. You have the rules on one end of the mat and then the play mat on the other side. So just in case if you guys are not familiar with the rules and how the play mat it works, it actually tells you how to do everything step by step. Definitely open this up for you guys. Yeah, so it breaks down everything like units, pilots, commands, bases, what you got to do from turn by turn, what can you do and what you can't do, preparing for battle. And then on the other side would be the playmat. So if you guys don't have a playmat, definitely try to play on this. Don't try to play on a plain surface because you don't want to damage your cards because you don't know if there's like food stains or anything else where you guys gonna play at. So just be mindful, just keep your cards protected. So let's see what this deck has on hold for us. Let me just try to take this plastic out. So starting off, we're getting 2 of the Wing Gundams. Level 6 4 cost is a breach. When this card unit attacks, destroys an enemy unit. Deal the specified amount of the damage to the first card in their opponent's shield area. This unit may choose an active enemy unit in level 4 or lower as an attack target. The link will be Hero Yui with the attack power of 4 and the health power of 5. So it's definitely the boss battle card that green and blue has, and it's definitely going to be a strong one. So hopefully you guys like the deck profile that this actually brings. Next up, the next boss would be Torgis. Is a level 5 cost 4, activate main once per turn, top 4, set this unit as active, is a attack power of 4 with a health power of 4 with the link of Zex Magis. So it's definitely a good card because if you don't have another body on the board that suggests that might protect this card, you could definitely tap 4 to restand this card and have this card ready to swing again for next turn. So it's definitely good to have this card as well. I'm not sure what you guys are going to run the ratios when it comes to this deck, but it's looking like 2 might be alright, but I think 3 should be fine. Next up, we have 4 of the Wing Gundam Bird Mode. Is a level 3/3 cost. Deploy, place 1 EX resource. Is a 2 attack power, 2 health power with the link of Hero Yui. It's definitely a good card because you definitely could ramp. Green is mostly about ramping to get your bigger bodies on board faster than your opponents. So it's definitely good to have this card in your deck. Hopefully in the future when the booster box actually comes out, we do get more cards that actually does the same thing that this card does, because I think right now this is the only card that actually gives you an EX resource, so it gives you a little bit more of a ramp, and it has a standard 2 attack power swing, so it's not that bad. It's not that bad to have. Next up, we have 4 of the level 5 3 cost Gundam Heavy Arms. During your turn, When this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, deal 1 damage to all enemy units that are level 3 or lower. So this is definitely one of the strong suit cards to have into your deck to be like the semi-boss under Wing Gundam and Torgis with the attack power of 3 and health power of 4. So it's not going to be easy to remove this Gundam off the board. So it's definitely good to have this. Maybe a 4, maybe a 3. But it's definitely one of those staple cards that you want to use into this deck. Next up we have Gundam Sandrock. This is the different version because the version that came with the beta, the artwork was totally different. But this is a level 4 2 cost vanilla. It's an attack power of 4 with the health power of 3. So now with this card, summoning it at 2 and it turned 4, well, costing of 2 is definitely good because now you can apply pressure with Gundam with the attack power of 4. Maybe get some swings over the blockers that people's going to be using, and this does make a lot of damage points to your opponent's base, so it's definitely good to even have running this card as well. Maybe a 2 off, maybe a 3, but soon, once I'm done with these deck openings, I'll definitely start doing deck profiles. If you guys like it, just comment below. Next up, we have Mechanic. It's a 2-drop, a level 2 2 cost vanilla, another vanilla. It's a 3 attack power with a 2 health power. Definitely a good early game pressure point because off of this one swing you can take your opponent's base out off of one swing. A lot of the Gundams that we have in other decks don't have bodies that actually swing with the 3 attack power at a 2 cost, so it's definitely good that green's looking like early game power pressure, so for your opponent to actually start considering on addressing the board instead of addressing your life. So here. Next up we have another vanilla, which is Leo. Is a level 2 2 cost, 2 attack power, 2 health power. I guess this deck is definitely going to be built on mostly on the buildup of vanillas. I guess the ramping is going to ramp so you can get closer to your boss battle cards, boss Gundams, however you want to call them, and then so to apply pressure, because to have a Wing Gundam to breach 5, if it eliminates a body off the board at 5, so it could knock anything out on base. It could be a shield, it could be a base, whatever it is off of one swing, you can actually take it out. And then you have Torgis that can actually withstand. So all these vanillas, all they actually doing is applying pressure to your opponent. For when those big units come out on board, your opponent is gonna have to actually consider trying to put pressure on the battlefield, but it's gonna be hard because from what it's looking like, this green and blue Gundam Wing of the Advance deck is definitely gonna look like it's gonna be one of the strong decks out here. But it's just this is my opinion, but I definitely see that this deck is gonna be fully about applying pressure with these low bodies, big numbers. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how it goes. Then the next this deck comes with 3 of the Ares. Put this on this side. 3 of the Ares, level 2 2 cost blockers. So now we have blockers into the deck, so it's definitely good. But I'm not sure how much of a protection this actually could bring when it's a 2 cost with a health power of 1. So it's basically just going to be blocking for 1 swing, maybe to protect your board of not trying to lose any battle cards and try to continue applying pressure to your opponent. Or maybe you're close to being gamed that you want to start some of these early, these not early, but these small bodies into the battle zone, so that your opponent starts having start hitting brick walls when it comes to swinging to you for game. So definitely gonna have to run some blockers. Talk about another blocker to finish it off is Tragos. Is a level 1 cost blocker, attack power 1, health power of 1. So the blocker is not as strong in this deck, but as you can see, it's really trying to support the Wing Gundam to get on board as soon as possible, especially with all these vanillas. There's nothing like so special about these cards. It's just straight vanillas, summoning them, applying pressure. They're about to try to apply pressure either to the board or to your opponent itself, and then try to see how it actually goes from there. But I can see why they will be running these small blockers, because you still want to summon these big bodies and try to sneak in 1 or 2 blockers when you need to. So like that, you know, with all the swings that you're giving your opponent, you know, you might be losing units off the board, and then you'll have nothing to defend you. So keeping these blockers on the board, trying to sneak them in, will give your opponent like a second guess to either remove the big units or try to attack directly, because the blocker is not in their way to succeed in their swings towards you or your battle cards or your unit cards, however you want to say it. So those are the units. Let's put these up to the side. So far, when it comes to the units, it's definitely a balance, but it's like vanilla build. But just remember, it's starter deck weekend, so it's only about building the starter deck. Try to get the hang of the cards, the decks, whichever deck you want to play with, and everything else. But when the booster box comes out, which is like in a week and a half, that's when you start seeing the support for every deck, and then try to see how this deck can actually change. Because when the beta was out, green and blue was the strongest out of one of the strongest, because blue and white was actually strong as well, but green and blue was actually one of the strongest collaboration powerhouse that actually won multiple tournaments online. So let's see how it actually does now with this not being the beta. Now we have the starter decks. So let's continue with the pilots. 4 of the Hiroyuis, level 4 1 cost, burst. Add this card to your hand. During Link, this unit gets AP 1 and HP 2, but at the same time, it's already giving its unit +2 +1. So the difference is you could actually link, and you can actually there's like 2 versions of it. When it comes to the link is actually linking with something that's actually combined to it. So this will be an example. As you can see at the bottom, it says Hiroyui link. So Wing Gundam will actually get this, the +2 +1. So we'll put it at 6 and 6. But since it's a link that actually combined together, it will actually get an additional 1 and 1. So it puts it at 7 and 7. So another example is, let's see if they got another card. So let's just say you try to link with this. You're only pairing. So it's linking and then there's pairing. As you can see, there's a link. So basically, when you link correctly, summoning sickness does not apply to the link, but it does apply to the pairing. So that's the big difference. So right now with the Hiroyui, you could link both of them. I mean, pair both of them, but only one of them is going to get the full potential of Hiroyui, which is the Wing Gundam. Put it at 7 and 7. But this will only get the 2 and 1. So we'll put it at 5 and 4. It won't get the link because it's a link pilot. It's actually a pairing pilot. So that's the big difference between the two. Just in case if people was kind of confused on how that functions. Next up, let's talk about the next pilot. Zach McGee's level 5 1 cost. Burst. Add this card to your hand. It's a +2 +1. And then during Link, during your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, draw 1 card. So this is definitely good, just in case if you try to summon a lot of bodies, because that's what the goal is with this deck. You try to summon a lot of bodies early, apply pressure to your opponent early, and then you're basically going to be gassing out your hand. So the best thing to do when it comes to this deck is actually making sure that this link, remember it's during link, not pairing, that you link this correctly so you can actually get the draw power when you're applying pressure to your opponent's board. So that's definitely good that you get to draw a card. So those are the two pilots that this deck actually runs with, which is not that bad to balance out. One actually gives you the firepower to swing over any unit on the board. And then the other one, if you remove something off the board in battle, then you get to draw a card. Next up, we have the command / pilot, which is Troa Barton. It's a level 4 cost 1. Simultaneous fire. Main. Choose one of your units. It gains breach 3 during this turn. I already told you what breach means. If he gets to remove a unit off the board, you get to do a damage of whatever the breach is in the card, as towards the shield or towards the base that your opponent has. And it gives you a +1/+1 as well. So you can either use the main effect as the command, and then or if you're trying to like pair, you only get the +1/+1. You can't pair and expect to have this effect. It doesn't work like that. You have to choose either or. Either he's going to be a command card or he's going to be a pilot. Next up, we have Quarter of a Burrow Winner. Hopefully I said that right. Level 4, 1 cost, Peaceful Timber. Action: during this battle, your shield area cards can't receive damage from enemy units that are level 4 or lower. This is definitely a great card to have in the deck, because most of the cards that you're going to be dealing with on this weekend is early game pressure, and having this in your hand, early game pressure, is going to be the small bodies trying to apply pressure to your shields, and activating this while they're swinging actually negates the swing because they will be level 4 or lower. So unless they are a big body, your opponent is going to have to basically waste a swing if this is actually going to be on play. But just got to make sure that you have the energy up for the protection of this card. Then we have 2 of the Siege Ploy. Level 3, 1 cost, burst. This card's main does not go to your hand, it just bursts. Activate on main or action. Choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest it. Definitely good if you're trying to slow down a wide attack on your board or on your life. So it's definitely a good card to actually run. Not sure how many will you run of these, but I think 2 should be fine. It all depends on when I sit down later on to see what this deck profile will actually look like. What is the ratios of the cards, because like I said in all my videos, when you're actually buying starter decks, make sure you're actually buying 2 starter decks, because the ratios will be off. Like this is 2. We've seen a couple of them actually being 3. So definitely want to buy 2 starter decks for any color that you're actually going to buy, any starter decks, and then try to build from there. And then, you know, you'll get the ratio that you need in order to play for this weekend. Because I think it's going to be for this weekend all the way to next weekend, or until the booster box comes out. And then Gundam, the card game, will actually start popping off, that anything could be constructed. Next up, we have 3 bases. St. Gabriel Institute is a 2 cost, level 2 burst. Deploy this card. Deploy, add 1 shield to your hand. Then look at the top 2 cards of your deck and return 1 to the top and 1 to the bottom. So now you're getting to scribe the top 2 cards of your deck, which is another key thing that green actually does, which is not that bad, because now you got ramping, now you got this, and you got breach as well to actually, try to try to control the game, try to control what you want to play by play each turn. So it's definitely good to actually play green. With blue, definitely blue is kind of good too. Last but not least, we have the Corsica base. It's a level 3 cost burst. Deploy this card, add 1 of your shields to your hand. Then it is your turn. Deploy 1 Torgis OZ AP4 HP2 unit token. If it is your turn and a card with Corsica base is in the name, it is your trash. Deploy 2 Leo OZ AP1 HP2 unit tokens instead. This base is not that bad. It's definitely not that bad, because now you're free summoning off of this being on your base. So I guess you definitely got to run the Leos in this deck. Leo's in this deck to actually summon these, and Leo is actually a vanilla card, but honestly it's definitely a good card now to actually have those Leos because of this, because now, just in case if you don't have anything in your hand that you can actually summon for next turn, now you're actually getting ready to go on a full-blown assault on your opponent next turn because of this card giving you a free summon. And depending on what you got in your discard pile, because you can either summon 1 Torgis or 2 of the Leos, depending on the situation that you're actually in. So that is the deck. That's the deck cards that actually comes into the deck. Then you already know you get 10 of the resources. You get the EX base for the beginning of the game, which is different. 3. You start with 3, and then your base is actually 5. Even on our old base cards that we get actually run at 5 health. We got a couple that says 3, a couple that says 4, but you do start every game with this one, or unless you got the promo one, but it's still going to be a health of 3. You have the EX resource, just in case if you go second, if you win the whatchamacallit, the coin flip or whatever, however you guys want to take turns on thing. So the Leos, that's concerning the Corsica base. Here are the tokens. You get 3 of the Leos. So this is what you will be summoning on board, even though they are so small in power, but they actually actually does a lot of damage. Maybe there's a bot in the board that only has 1 health, or you need to bring them down a little bit to actually apply pressure with another card, so you can actually not lose that many units on the board. Or if your opponent does not have a base on their shields, then you can still swing with the Leos. And then you have the other tokens, which is 3 of the Torgis. This is the one that you really want to actually summon. But summoning these 2 for free, or summoning 1 of these, it's not that bad, because any of them will actually still try to apply pressure to your opponent. This one being a 4 attack power with a 2 health, and the other one is a 1 attack power of 1 health. It's still going to do some type of damage to your opponent, so it doesn't really matter as long as you actually summon the Corsica base. You want to make sure how you want to build your deck towards this weekend. And then you get the damage points with the AP1, HP1, same thing on the other side. So that is all for the deck. Let's open the bonus pack. Let's see what this bonus pack has. 16 types, so you can actually get 16 full art. Let's see what this is. And we get one of the pilots, Zex Marquise. Definitely a good card. Like I said, apply pressure to your opponent and you get to draw a card, and it gives you one of your units +2, +1. Let's see the difference between the two. Yeah, I think it's just a hollow itself. There's no barrier on this end, but as you can see, it's hollow. But besides that, you know, it's still a good hollow if you want to play fancy and all that. But this is what you get. This is what I pulled. I still gotta open the other one, but I'm not gonna open it on this video. I just wanted to do one of the boxes so you guys can actually see what comes inside the deck. And then in the future, I will be doing deck profiles so you guys can actually see if you want to test the deck out itself. That's the way I'm doing it. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and like, share, and subscribe. Put some comments below on what you guys want to see next, and wish you guys the best of luck on this weekend, if you guys actually gonna play this weekend or sometime next week. But hopefully you guys enjoy the game, and I'll see you guys back on the next one. Latest.